Well, every seasoned Southerner who has endured a scorching Mid-South summer has known the cooling bliss of the popsicle. I mean, haven't we all chased that ice cream truck at one time or another? You know, sweet taste, vibrant colors, just frozen right there on a stick. I don't know how you're going to beat that. But have you ever considered the popsicle as your calling? Well, that's a good question. You're about to meet a man who did just that right here in the River City. And of course, is on this week's edition of The Current Temp with Joey Solopek. Hi there, friends. Thank you for joining me here today. We're going to be talking to the founder of MEMPOPS. More on him in just a second. First, let me say thank you to Lexus of Memphis. As you all know, we love Lexus. What a phenomenal group of men and women, an exceptional product. More than thrilled that they partner with us here, and we cannot talk about them enough. Speaking of which, we have finally decided we're going to accept other applications for partners here. If you'd like for your name, your brand, your entity to be mentioned right here every week, and we've got a great audience out there, some smart people in our analytics. We get to see who our market is. Email us at thecurrenttemp@gmail.com, thecurrenttemp@gmail. We'd love to talk to you. All right. Now this guy, his name is Chris Taylor. Now you may not recognize the face, but I promise you recognize the brand. Chris is the owner, founder, entrepreneur, brains behind MEMPOPS. Now, if for some reason, when I say the word MEMPOPS, an image doesn't jump immediately into your brain, I'm about to fix that. But before I start asking Chris questions, I'm going to give us all a little popsicle history. All right, you ready for this? First of all, and I did not know this, the popsicle was invented in 1905. I bet you didn't know that, by an 11-year-old named Frank Epperson. The story's actually pretty interesting. 1905, he sets soda powder for like a soda drink, water in a stick with some sugar, left it outside overnight, and it was freezing. And when he got up the next morning, it was all frozen on a stick, and there it is. Now, here's what's hilarious to me. His name was Frank Epperson. It was originally called the Epsicle. I just learned that. It did not become the popsicle until later. And hey, today, billions of these things are sold. And of course, it started out with the one-stick popsicle. And if you see my little icon, it's got the two sticks. That came around, I found out, during World War II, when people were having to conserve. And so they started making popsicles so you could share one with a friend. All right, the popsicle table has been set. Now, let me welcome Chris Taylor, MEMPOPS. Listen, man, you have got an iconic brand. In fact, I'm going to pop up one of your trucks right here. If you have not seen this blue and white truck or this blue and white trailer, you're missing something. You're at festivals, you're at fairs. We're going to get to that. How in the world do you... Wait a minute. Before I even ask you this, Chris was a sous chef at Felicia Suzanne's. You've been around food previously. How do you go from fine dining to a popsicle, tycoon?
Well, I mean, a lot of it happened because I wanted to open a restaurant.
Okay.
And my wife said, no way you're doing that.
All right.
And this was our compromise.
Okay. To go to a popsicle company was the compromise.
Yeah, so she thought I wouldn't have to work as hard, but...
So if you're a sous chef and you're wanting to open a restaurant, how do you go from that to popsicles? What was the bridge? Who came up with it?
Well, I mean, when we started a little over 10 years ago, similar companies similar to MEMPOPS were kind of popping up in other cities. And so I had read about these businesses like King of Pops out of Atlanta, Steel City Pops was out of Birmingham, and other smaller ones like this seems like that was like the trend in food was like, oh, these people are opening these kind of shops in cities. Similar, mostly bigger than Memphis, but similar size. I was like, I don't know, I could probably do that. And just kind of, talking over it, we just kind of, decided kind of the way we should take it. And then we just, just went for it. Really.
How do you come up with the name MEMPOPS? And again, my common sense, of course, but it's harder to actually develop it than it is for me to look back and go, oh, it's Memphis Popsicles, it's MEMPOPS. Who smashed all that together?
Well, that's also, if you ask me, I'll say it was my idea. If you ask my wife, she'll say it was her idea.
Okay, all right.
So one of the first events we did when they were doing like these Memphixes, and they were highlighting areas in Memphis for
Memphix?
Yeah, redevelopment.
Okay.
And so the one we did was in the Pinch District. Bass Pro Shops was coming in, and they were highlighting that area there across from the pyramid for redevelopment.
Right.
And it was in Memphis. And this is before I had the name MEMPOPS. And, went down there and we sold some pops. And I think maybe the next week, like, oh, should we call it MEMPOPS? And we're like, I don't know, maybe. And we kind of like had like a working list of ideas. And we kept coming back to MEMPOPS. Like we'd say, I don't know, maybe MEMPOPS. And then we were just throwing out, because I didn't want to rush into a name. Like when I first started doing it, I had a friend of mine, she was an artist, and she just painted popsicle on the side of the cart. And that's all it said. And so we didn't want to rush into a name. So we kept throwing ideas out, but we kept coming back. I think it's going to be MEMPOPS. I think it's going to be MEMPOPS. And then one day we're like, screw it, it's MEMPOPS.
So, and your storefront, tell me, what's your address, your location, your storefront?
1243 Ridgeway and then 1350 Concourse Avenue at the
Concourse?
Yes.
And I will tell you this, your T-shirts are fantastic. I've seen some of them online. I've been in the store before and looked at them. So whoever's doing the graphics, you've got some really strong stuff there.
Oh, thanks.
But let me ask this question. So you're a sous chef. You're thinking, I'm going to open a restaurant. No, all of a sudden we've got a popsicle company.
Yes.
What do you do first? Because if I were to, I'm not a cook. My wife's a fantastic cook. But if I was going to open a restaurant, I would go, okay, I need a stove. I need a cooler to store food. A popsicle's a whole nother deal, right? I mean, I would assume you're still cooking, but refrigeration's got to be a big deal. What's the first thing you do to start that thing?
Well, I spent the summer like doing it like out of my house.
Okay.
And so I came up, the first thing to me was like, figure how do I make these things taste really good? And so I kind of got a hold on that. And then
walk through that. How many are you going through? Who's taste testing it? What were some winners, failures?
We had young children, so they were perfect candidates at the time. And I just think about like cooking wise, like how would you, like what makes sense to make it this flavor? And so I just would mess around with stuff.
So are you throwing fresh fruit in there? What's the magic? What do you do?
I mean, every flavor is different, but like most of it's like, so we've started doing fruit ones first. So I was thinking like, we're going to sweeten fruit essentially and freeze it. So what do you need? You need sugar, you need fresh fruit, you need lemon juice, because lemon juice is like an acid that's going to make things a little brighter.
Okay.
So like for like a basic strawberry pop, it's fresh strawberry puree, simple syrup, which is equal parts sugar and water. You heat the water up to dissolve the sugar in it, and then some lemon juice. And it's like, okay, then you figure out the ratio of how much sweetener do you need per ounce or per quart of the puree.
Because you got to do it in bulk.
Yeah, and so you kind of figure that out, and then you just kind of, once you get a lot of it's kind of mix and match. Like, so once you get a couple flavors, you're like, okay, I just take this one thing out and put another one in, and now we have a new flavor.
See, I'm sitting here thinking it through, because years ago I used to work at Molly's La Casita, and I had to make margaritas by the 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah.
Well, that's different than pouring a margarita in a glass, right? You've got to figure out how to make it taste good here to one-on-one. Was that a bunch of trial and error? I can't even imagine what that must have looked like to go from I'm making these to scale. It's, in other words, if I was making one for my kid, it'd be a little different than I thought. No, I may have 400 people walk in the store tomorrow. What do you do?
I mean, you just make a bigger quantity. I mean,
let me before you answer. I should have started with this. Okay. When you live in it, when you do it every day, all these questions I'm asking seem like, what are you talking about? But from the outside, we've got no clue. To you, what you do every day that makes so much common sense. I can't even wrap my brain around starting from scratch, trying to figure out new flavor ideas that will capture somebody, and then making enough to make it, feed 400.
Well, I mean, there were plenty of days when we first opened where we didn't make enough. So there's a lot of trial and error involved.
That's a good problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of trial and error involved in it. And also, too, when we opened the first store, I'd probably at that point come with like 10 to 15 flavors is all I had.
And how many are there now?
I mean, over 100 that I've made that I have recipes for.
Okay.
And after a couple of years of doing this, I realized, oh, wait a minute, like I have like, if you know about cooking and French cooking, like you have like your mother sauces. And so I was like, oh, wait, I have like my mother like popsicle sauce bases or whatever. And so I have like these 4 or 5 bases that, I mean, some things aren't, but 90% of them are based on like these 4 or 5 bases I have. And so we're just moving things around, changing one ingredient, like that kind of stuff.
Okay, what struck you that works versus what doesn't when you're doing taste combos? What works versus what doesn't?
I mean, I kind of think about things when we come up with flavors. You think about like, okay, well, one, what do you like? And you think of like basically like this is peaches, like peaches and cream. That's super simple, like very good. And then you might think about like a dessert you like. Okay, well, like I really like key lime pie. Okay, I'm gonna figure out how to make a key lime pie pop. So most of the things we do are based on flavor combinations that are out there, things that all of us have had. Like, but we're just gonna figure out how to make that into a MEMPOP. So there's definitely some translation and getting the ingredients right and stuff. But just kind of think about things desserts you like or flavor combinations you like.
Okay, here comes a curveball.
Okay,
and I actually like this. But how do you come up with an avocado MEMPOP?
Well, avocado is the avocado MEMPOP, or like in Central America, Mexico, avocado paleta or avocado ice cream is very popular. So it's actually a pretty natural flavor.
Not natural to the Mid-South, but still.
But it's not like some flavor that no one's ever heard of. It just comes from. It's very popular somewhere else.
Right.
And so I was like, hey, I wanted to like kind of capture a little bit of like something different.
And I like it.
And so that was one of the first kind of ones that was like, I guess more out there or whatever flavor.
And that's to me what garners attention. I'm assuming that if you do something outlandish, it's going to get some attention. Have you found that to be true, or do you have your tried and true?
People, that's one that we always have on the menu at the stores. It has its fan base, so we can't. That'll always be at the stores.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the most popular?
I mean, your basic stuff like strawberry lemonade, fudge, strawberry vanilla.
Those are the most.
Yeah, those are the. Yes.
All right, talk cream. Okay, I'm getting fancy here. Like I know what I'm talking about. Talk cream base versus fruit, because I'm a fan of the cream base, which is actually what we're kind of looking at here. I guess with fruit, or just excuse me, I know you've got them all mixed in together, but non-cream based is, I'm assuming, the purees going to be more of a intense fruit flavor.
Yes, but I mean,
does the cream soften?
The cream's going to be not as hard because the fat from the cream when you freeze it. But a lot of things like strawberry and cream is just a strawberry mix. We just add cream to it. And you have strawberry, or peaches and cream is just the fruit peach pop. We put cream in it. So you have like some stuff like that where we're just adding cream to a fruit base, and we have that. But then we have some that are more intense where like some are more of a custard base, like the key lime pop, where we temper in egg yolks and that kind of thing.
All right.
So to build another layer of richness with the flavor from the egg yolk. So we have kind of like cream, like where we add cream, the peaches and cream, and then we have
cookies and cream.
Well, one's a little bit different.
Okay.
That's a different base. But anyway, we can make, with the cookies and cream one, we can turn that into 1,000 different flavors too. That one we actually fold in whipped cream. Have you ever had this lighter?
Yeah.
So we make our base. It's just milk and vanilla simple syrup, and we make a slurry with cornstarch to thicken it up and cook that. And then the next day we puree it up to get it moving again, and then we whip cream. And I fold in whipped cream to it and add the cookies crumbles to it.
Okay. So to me, if I had if I walked in off the street as a kid and you gave me a choice of a cream-based one or a fruit-based one, I'm going cream-based. To me, that's kind of the high-end. That's the Lexus of popsicles. Mm-hmm. Does the Memphis agree with me? Is there one that's more popular than the other? Is regular versus cream-based? Which one does better?
I'm not good at keeping up with stats. I mean, I just go by what we're low on and we just make more of it.
What are you low on? Yeah, which one goes out faster to your knowledge?
It's some weeks are different.
It's just all over the place.
It's crazy. Yeah, sometimes we'll have a run on certain pops. I mean, it's just.
Doesn't that surprise you? I would have thought the cream-based ones would be more, because I guess I feel it's more, when I go in to get one, it's more decadent. I feel like I'm eating ice cream.
Yeah.
Whereas the fruit ones are great.
Well, if people come in looking for ice cream, and then we'll steer them like, hey, well, you probably want to get a cream-based one. But like the cream-based ones, like the cookies and cream's be lighter because we add whipped cream to it. Like a key lime pie or something like that's going to be heavier because it has cream plus egg yolks.
Okay.
And then like something like this, that's probably our blackberry goat cheese or something.
Okay. Expound blackberry goat cheese. So you've got goat cheese in this one?
Yeah, that looks like that flavor. Yeah, I saw someone making this blackberry goat cheese ice cream. I go, that looks really good. I was like, I want to make a blackberry goat cheese pop.
And how was that one done?
It's people. Someone called the store yesterday asking for it. So we only do it in the season, like because we try to get all of our stuff like locally from Jones Orchard. So I try to keep things seasonal. So like come June, we'll have like blackberries and peaches, blueberries, that kind of stuff will be in season. Watermelons start to come in season, so we'll switch our menu over to those flavors. And people, after 10 years, people kind of know the seasonality, so they know like in the fall what to expect, in the spring, summer. They're like, hey, when's this one coming? I was like, oh, that'll be like in 3 weeks, So people kind of maybe have their favorites that aren't there year round, and they look forward to us having those available for them.
Walk me through the process. You go to Jones Orchard, you see the bounty is, you got cherries. You got a bunch of cherries.
Yes.
What's the process from harvesting a bushel full of cherries to getting it onto a frozen stick?
Well, it's kind of a pain because you got to pit them all.
Okay.
So, and then after you pit them, we cook them.
That's the handcrafting.
We cook them, and then after we do that, we go through and make sure there's no more pits in there. It's a very labor-intensive process because I don't want someone to get. And then sometimes you'll start pureeing them up, and you hear I was like, "Stop it!"
There's another
we
pit.
dump it out, and we got to find the pit. So cherries are very delicious, but they're not high on my list as far as like favorite fruits to work with.
Is that the worst one? What's the hardest one to deal with?
I don't know. I mean,
which one sticks in your icy craw? Which one is the worst?
I'm trying to think.
That sounds annoying to me. The pit.
The cherry pits are very annoying. They are.
Okay, so you're going to put that one at the top?
I'm gonna have to think about it, but yeah, I mean, I could get back to you tomorrow. But I think right now, yes.
I'll go with that.
Right now, yes.
Give me some. How do you come up with flavor ideas? Just from anywhere? From your work as a chef? The kids come up with something. Where do the ideas come from?
Everywhere. Like I did a Biscoff pop a month or two ago.
Like the cookie, the Biscoff.
Yeah, we were coming back from our Christmas trip, and I was hungry, so I went back to where they keep the snacks, and I ate like a bunch of Biscoff cookies, and I was like, I should make this into a pop. Like this would be good, and so. We made that first of the month, or first of the year.
How'd it do?
It was good.
It was good.
My kids loved it. We'd go up to the store after it was closed. Like, let's get some. Because we live right by Crosstown. They're like, can we get some Biscoff Pops? I'll make sure. And so we would go up there together and get Biscoff Pops.
How when you're rolling these things into I'm assuming you got to have mega freezers, especially when it gets hot in the summer. You're dealing with heat, but you got an iced product. How long does it take to get these things frozen? You got everything ready to go. You wheel them in there. How much longer is it?
Well,
ready?
I mean, so one thing I've learned when we first started is there's like in Latin America, South America, popsicles or paletas, they're everywhere. So there's companies that make specialized equipment for producing these things.
Okay.
And so there's a company out of Brazil and a company out of Mexico. And we have equipment from both of them. And so there's whole systems you can buy like for a smaller production like we are, where you can I can freeze them in 30 minutes.
Okay, so a speed freeze process.
Yeah. So it's it's designed to make these things fast.
Okay, so when you're making them, what's the most challenging aspect? Is it I constantly if I've got ice cream, I love ice cream. I bust the lid, and the next time I go in there, I got ice crystals everywhere. Mm-hmm. What's the bane of your existence when it comes to getting the perfect product out? Because I'm sure, like you said, you got pits in the blender. You got to get that stuff worked out.
I mean, really, a lot of times it's just getting enough made, like getting, just
volume.
Yeah, I mean, because there's some weeks because we it's a weird business because I don't make any money like in the winter, and then all of a sudden it's spring break now, we're ramping up, and I can't keep everyone that works for me in the summer. I can't keep them year round. I can't afford that, so we have to basically start over I have people have been with me for a long time. But I have to hire a bunch of new people and train them and show them the process and get them working together. And I mean, that's the hardest thing.
Are you still open in the cold months?
Yeah, we are. But I mean, our mobile business isn't running. And then some of our big wholesale accounts aren't, doing business. We're doing some business at the stores, but we might make pops once a week or, once every 2 weeks, just depending on inventory.
I guess you saying that, I can see where having your work base turnover every season and having to start with a new work base because it is seasonal. Mm-hmm. How long are the busiest months? What's your retail's at Christmas? What's your months that's like we're going?
I mean, everything's based on the weather, but usually May is our busiest, with end of April to May, because we got festivals happening. Then we have end of school happening, so that's great that people have to come to our schools to give the kids pops for, doing such a great job for the school year. And so we have a lot of that going on.
So you do like events. I mean, you're catering events and showing up not just at festivals, but
yeah, we do a lot of stuff at schools, churches, businesses. Like Lexus has us out twice a year, which is very nice of them.
See, another quality thing right there.
They treat their employees very well. They get on MEMPOPS twice a year.
We're pro Lexus here.
Yes.
Is there a dream mashup you haven't done yet? Is there anything that's been just tickling your brain and you're like, I don't know if Memphis is ready for it yet? Some jalapeno and bourbon popsicle.
I feel like I used to have ideas like that, but when we first opened, I made a lot and realized that maybe people didn't want what I thought they wanted. And so now I just, whatever flavor someone will enjoy and enough people will enjoy it to make a lot of it, then we'll do it.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you to go down memory lane. What are some outlandish ones you've done? Or some exorbitant ones? What tell me, give me a couple.
I remember like maybe 8 or 9 years ago, like this popcorn gelato was like the rage with like these chefs. I was like, I'll make a pop. That's easy. I'll make a popcorn MEMPOP. And so we made it, and no one bought it. It's good. It tastes like popcorn.
I was going to say popcorn jelly bellies are my favorite. I would have bought all of them. But that didn't go, huh?
Yeah, they go. I remember making like this smoked vanilla. I thought was really cool.
That sounds good too.
That no one bought. Those are two that I was like, oh, these are really good ideas. These are going to be so cool. And
okay, what's one that takes off that you're like, I can't believe I didn't think that one would do so well?
I mean, really, the blackberry goat cheese has been quite a hit.
Really?
I mean, it's good, but I didn't think people would be like
the name alone
calling me in January asking when we're going to get that back. So
I'm telling you, from a marketing standpoint, I think I saw that name on your website. You've got it listed there. Uh-huh. That name grabs you. It all of a sudden you're going, oh, this looks like a little customized thing this guy's going on. And there's got to be a draw to that. I mean, the fact that I personally think you ought to have sous chef everywhere so everybody knows your history, as you're going into this, because to me that leads credence to what you're doing. You're actually trying new flavors and experimenting with them. Mm-hmm. Okay, one more, blackberry goat cheese. There were a couple of other combinations on there that I was like, wow, that sounds really good. Throw a couple of other combos at me that you do.
Like one of my favorites is it's blackberry again. I love the blackberries. Blackberry lemon rose. It's like a blackberry lemonade, and we put a little rose water extract in it, a little more floral. Okay. And we don't do quite as much lemon juice as like a strawberry lemonade, so it's not quite, because the blackberries are already kind of tart anyway, and so that's a nice summertime when it's hot out. That's one of my go-tos for sure. All right.
This one I did not know about. MEMPOPS. You got MEMPOPS, MEMPOPS, which, if I read correctly, I'm going to let you explain more, is the frozen concoction on a rawhide strip. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like a rawhide twister, like a little dog rawhide treat.
As the stick?
As the stick. Because when the first time I made them, I was like, oh, these are great. I was like, oh crap, a dog's going to eat this, and they're going to get splinters in their mouth, and then...
So you started out with a wood
stick? And the owners are going to be mad at me. Yeah. And so I threw all those away. I was like I just saw lawsuit. Yeah. Anyway, and so I found like these Twizzlers at a Hollywood Feed, and I was like, hey, where do you get these? And they were super nice, and they gave me the company they bought them from wholesale. And then I set up an account with them, and so now I actually just ordered some today. We're going to make a new batch next week, and so we came up with what do dogs like? I mean...
Yeah, tell me,
and carrots and sweet potatoes, dogs love them. Like my dog eats carrots for treats, and they're good for dogs. And then you want some meaty scent to it for the dog, so we make a chicken stock. We don't make a chicken stock like you would for a restaurant. You can buy chicken bones. We roast them, and then we just use water. We don't use onions, garlic, or celery or carrots or any of that stuff. So it's just water and chicken bones. I simmer them overnight. This is the one we probably spend the most time on, really. And then we strain out the stock, and then we roast the sweet potatoes and carrots, and we blend it all together, and then we cook rice.
Okay, so there's rice in it?
We cook rice, and then we put that in the mix, blend it some more, and then we pour it in the molds. The workers at the store, especially Doug, he hates doing these. They are a total pain in the ass, like, because it's super thick, and you got to smash them down the molds, and then you can't use the extractor on them, so you put the rawhide sticks in them for your sticks. You freeze them, and then you got to pull them out one at a time like this real fast.
Okay.
And it's a lot of work.
So I don't know that I would have thought my dog is going to enjoy an ice cold frozen treat, but apparently they like it.
Well, it's one of those things I saw, like anything. I saw that, like, oh, look, people are making ice cream for dogs. And I was like, we can make a pot. And it was more like a one-off. Like, a lot of stuff we've done is like a one-off thing just to see if it sticks, and it did.
It seems to me like you've got this sweet spot where you have figured out something you enjoy. It is unique, but it's also a little bit like a palette. My wife loves to paint. You've got a blank palette where you can be as creative as you want to be, is what it sounds like to me. I find a certain joy in that.
Yeah, I mean, it is nice. I mean, not like as creative as we want to be, because we want to make what people, like one time I made a crawfish pop, like, for fun. And people actually bought it. I mean, I made like 20, but like...
Was it sweet or was it savory?
It was sweet. So I'm thinking, like, it was during COVID, and I was like, hey, I'm going to hang out with some people. Like, okay, we'll have something outside. I'll boil some crawfish and shrimp, and had some crawfish left over. The next day, I was like, I'll make this a pop. So I just, like, made a plain custard, and then I took the boiled crawfish, and threw them in there, and I had everything, pureed them all up, and just pushed it through a strainer, a fine strainer, and then I froze them, and I put it on Instagram, and people showed up for this. Wow.
What did they taste like?
I mean, it wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. It was edible.
Okay, so a minute ago when I said, what's the craziest one you've ever done? That didn't just jump into the front of your brain?
Well, I just remembered it. Yeah.
I have to give you some grace because you've been doing this now 10 years. That means a lot of recipes, a lot of learning, I'm sure through trial and error. As we close this down, tell me something you've learned about seasonal trends, Memphis trends, how Memphis likes to eat. What have you kind of picked up along the way? Something you didn't know when you started.
I mean, I've never really thought about it. It just seems that people in Memphis, they like to support Memphians, and I think people in Memphis are very proud of things that come from Memphis. You know what I'm saying? I think we're proud of the good qualities, and we're also, I think, kind of proud of maybe some of the unsavory parts of our city, but like we own it, and that's kind of who we are. Like we understand that not everything's perfect, and I don't know, it's just cool that we've been doing it for 10 years, and I'm excited that people like you want to talk to me about it, and we're just happy to be here. I
could not agree more with what you just said, and that's, I think, now that you said it out loud, probably one of the reasons I'm drawn to the word MEMPOPS. I'm such a fan of this city and really the Mid-South because there is this loyalty. There's this thread of we want to support Memphis. If it's got the word Memphis in it, I want to help lift it up. I want to come out and give it some backing. And that's a perfect way to put it. You've been doing this now for 10 years with this great name, great logo. People like to represent this. And I grew up here. I've been here since I was 6 weeks old. And there used to be a time when Memphis was viewed negatively, even by the people. We had kind of this down on ourselves mentality. Mm-hmm. And then, 901 Memphis came along, and we had all these big pushes to go, no, we got a lot to be proud of here. The people here love each other. They got big hearts. They're blue collar. They support each other. And I think that's a great way to put it, that you've learned that Memphis wants to support Memphis. Tell me what your dream looks like for the next 5 to 10 years.
I mean, I just want to keep doing what we're doing. I mean, like someone's always, oh, you want to expand? I was like, I don't want to expand. Like, I don't want to open another store. I just want to do what we're doing. Like, we're, lucky to be doing this for 10 years and been successful. So I don't have like some sort of take over the world mentality. It's just like, hey, we're happy with what we have. Our little slice is amazing. So let's just enjoy it and keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fantastic. And is it mempops.com?
MEMPOPS.com.
Listen, friends, if you want to find out more about Chris, about what they're doing, go check out their website. Really well done website. You've got some of the flavors there, store hours, where to find you. And I'm guessing now that we're about to head into spring and summer, you're going to see those blue and white places everywhere.
We'll be out. We're out today. I mean, it's spring break, so we're getting out, like weather dependent, obviously. But this weekend looking really nice.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be nice, and we've got warm temperatures out there. All right. Chris Taylor, MEMPOPS. This has been extremely fascinating for me. Thank you for being here today,
cool.
man. I appreciate it. Hey, listen, friends, if you would like to ask us a question, you've got an idea for a show, or again, if you're interested in being a sponsor here, we have got a big and vibrant audience. We got a lot of thinking people out there that a lot of companies would love to reach. We'd love to hear from you. And here's how you do it. You just email us at thecurrenttemp@gmail.com. Again, could be an idea, could be a comment. We'd love to talk to you. And again, you're gonna be thinking about us when you see that blue and white truck, or that is it a Silverstream? What?
Airstream.
Airstream.
Yes.
You see that blue and white classic Airstream, and man, it just makes me happy when I see it. I hadn't even met you before today, but I'd be riding my bike through Shelby Farms, or I'll see it out somewhere, and it brings a smile to your face. That bright blue, it's got the big red popsicle on it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you meant to be that positive with it, but it really well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Go get a T-shirt too. Chris Taylor, MEMPOPS. Hey guys, we're glad y'all were here today. Have a great week.